Turning now to Storm Watch 12, meteorologist Jeff Donovan planning for this Monday as people are stepping outside the door. What should they expect?
Give yourself some extra time because it is very cold and you do need to scrape that windshield. Also bundle up tight again because it is pretty chilly out there. We are seeing low to mid 30s in our west side valley, some of the coldest temperatures of the year. We are looking at, or at least of the season, we are looking at temperatures down into the mid 20s east of the Cascades. Many places seeing temperatures down into the teens, and then we are seeing low 40s along the coast. Now, our attention is quickly going to change from a very cold and mostly calm morning to a pretty active day of weather coming our way, especially as we go later into this evening and then overnight tonight. We are going to see increasing clouds throughout the day, and we will remain mostly dry through much of the afternoon too. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s in our west side valleys, upper 40s to mid 50s through Siskiyou County today, and then upper 40s to low 50s east of the Cascades. Again, staying mostly dry throughout much of the day. Winds are going to be increasing throughout the day, but it is as we get to later this afternoon into this evening and overnight tonight, the region will be impacted by periods of some pretty heavy precipitation, especially in Siskiyou County. Let's first talk about the wind threat. We have widespread high wind warnings across southern Oregon and northern California. Along the Oregon coast, the high wind warning goes into effect at 1 o'clock this afternoon. For the southern portion of the Shasta Valley, this is from Weed and southward. We do have a high wind warning going into effect at 1 o'clock this afternoon. For the southern portion of the Rogue Valley, this is around Talent and Ashland. We have a high wind warning going into effect at 3 o'clock this afternoon. And then for eastern Klamath and Lake County, for higher terrain areas, high wind warning going into effect at 4 o'clock this afternoon. I know that's a lot of information to take in. Just be aware that if you do live in a high wind warning area, we could see wind gusts out of the south and southeast in that 60 to 70 mile per hour range, damaging wind, possible power outages, so please be prepared. Elsewhere, we have wind advisories in place for the northern portion of the Rogue Valley beginning at 3 o'clock this afternoon. This does include places like Medford. For the northern portion of the Shasta Valley, this does include Wairika. And then for lower terrain east of the Cascades, this does include Klamath Falls. We do have these wind advisories in place. In wind advisory areas, we could be looking at wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. So it is going to be a very windy day developing around the region, especially as we get to the later afternoon and evening hours, along with some pretty heavy precipitation. Speaking about that precipitation, we have winter storm warnings going into effect today at 4 o'clock this afternoon for all of these areas in this pink color. I will say that the biggest area of concern with this winter storm warning, southern and eastern Siskiyou County, elevations above 3,500 feet. This does include I-5 south of Weed. We could be looking at 5 to 8 inches of snowfall. This will be the first I-5 snow event of the season. Eastern Siskiyou County, elevations above 5,000 feet. We are going to be looking at some fairly significant snow, and then western Siskiyou County as well. We also have winter weather advisories in place for elevations above 3,500 feet through eastern Siskiyou County, where we could be looking at between 2 and 5 inches of snowfall. Again, though, the biggest concern is that we could be looking at some snow on I-5 south of Weed that could really make for a very messy commute overnight tonight through early tomorrow morning. For those of us in southern Oregon, if you're curious, snow totals not as impressive as Siskiyou County, but we still could be looking at some accumulations. Lake of the Woods, 2 to 4 inches of snowfall. I know I don't have it on the screen, but we could also be looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow over Siskiyou Summit. So just be aware, this is really our first big storm of the autumn/winter season. So for the next 7 days, the coast will see rain and wind moving in this evening. We will be looking at more rainfall Tuesday, then tapering things off to just showers by the time we hit Wednesday and Thursday. Siskiyou County, overnight tonight through tomorrow morning will be very messy. A few more showers on Wednesday before we start drying things out by Thursday. East of the Cascades, again this evening and overnight tonight, we could be looking at some of that precipitation with very strong winds. By tomorrow afternoon, we should really be on a drying trend, and then just a few more showers into Wednesday. Our mountains, I already touched on that our southern Oregon Cascades could be picking up some snowfall. We could be looking at some slick roadways, and our west side valleys. Rainfall moving in late this afternoon through this evening. More rainfall tomorrow, but then just some showers on Wednesday and Thursday.
All right, so